Hi all, myself D. Srinivas, working as Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, KG Reddy College of Engineering. So in our today's lecture, we are going to discuss about basic components of electrical circuits. Now, before starting the basic components, now let us discuss about the charge. So here charge is nothing but charge is a conserved, it is neither created nor destroyed. So the charge is cannot be created and cannot be discharged, and the symbol of the charge is Q, capital Q or small q. That is nothing but charge can be indicated by capital Q or small q. So the charge can be measured in coulombs, that are nothing but the units of charge are coulombs. So the smallest charge is the electronic charge, that is carried by an electron, that value is minus 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs, or else if it is a proton then it is a plus 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. So in most of the circuit the charges are in motion, that is nothing but electrons. So most of the times if the charge is nothing but we will consider electrons itself. Okay. Now current and the charge. Now in this slide we will discuss about the relationship between current and charge. Current is nothing but current is the rate of charge flow, that is nothing but any charge at how much rate it is flowing, the flow of charges are, we are calling it as a current. So here if you observe 1 ampere is equals to 1 coulombs per second, that is nothing but 1 coulomb of charge if it is traveled in a 1 second, then we can say that 1 ampere of current is flowing in that particular circuit. Now if you see the symbol of current is, it is indicated by I. Now if you see this diagram here, this is one conductor, so the cross section of the conductor is here and the direction of the charge motion is going from left to right, and these are the points which are indicate the individual charges. Now the current designated by, just now I have told you that it is indicated by capital I or small I, is the rate of flow of charge. The current must be designated with both a direction and magnitude, that is nothing but every current itself has to be designated by magnitude as well as it is having directions. So in this below, if you observe these two currents, here we have a 3 amperes of magnitude is there. If you observe here, if it is going from upward direction, so it is designated with plus 3 amperes. If it is the direction is indicated downward direction, it has indicated that minus 3 amperes. That is nothing but the current has to be designated with magnitude as well as the direction. Now if you summarize the relationship between the current and the charge, I is dq by dt. Now let us discuss about the voltage. So the voltage is nothing but when a 1 joule of work is required to move 1 coulomb of charge from A point to B point, there is a voltage of 1 volt between A and B. That is nothing but if we want to move 1 coulomb of charge from one point to another, if we put 1 joule of work, that joule of work will create 1 voltage of 1 volt between those two particular points. So the voltage is indicated by capital V or small v across an element requires both a magnitude as well as polarity. That is nothing but as usual like your current, voltage also it has to be indicated with or designated with magnitude as well as directions. Now if you see the examples here, A, B, C and D. Now here if you take A point and B point, if I want to move 1 coulomb of charge from A point to B point, so I will generate 1 volt of voltage between these 2 points. That is nothing but here if you observe example A, the current is entering into the positive and leaving from the negative. In between these 2 points, we can assume that voltage is minus 5 volts. So if you observe the example B, that is B diagram, here also the current A is entering into the negative and leaving from the positive. Here we have taken voltage as plus 5 volts. Okay. Now if you observe the example C, here the current is entering into the positive and leaving from the negative. Here we have assumed as a plus 5 volts. If the same time, if you observe the example D, here the current is entering into the negative and leaving from the positive. That is nothing but, if you observe all these 4 diagrams, initially we have assumed minus 5 volts. If you compare with the B, here the current is entering into the negative. So this is plus 5 volts. The direction of current and polarities has to be changed here. That is the reason why A is equals to B. So consequently here also, if you observe C and D diagrams, here also if the first diagram C, here we have designated positive and negative, here we have assumed voltage as plus 5 volts. While coming to the D diagram, here it is in reverse direction of diagram C. Here we got minus 5 volts, but the current is entering into the negative. So here the C is equals to D. That is nothing but, like your current, voltage also it is must be designated with voltage as well as direction. Now let us move to power P. P is equals to V into I. That is nothing but the power required to push a current I into a voltage V is P equal to V into I. That is nothing but, in an electric field is there, if you want to push 1 coulomb of current into that voltage boundaries, then we have a 1 watt of power. That is nothing but, here P is equals to V into I. The units of power is joules per second. It is equals to watts. So the power is measured in watts. When the power is positive, the element is absorbing the energy. That is nothing but, if we pass any current in a particular element, if we calculate the voltage there, if we calculate the power, if it is a positive power, then we can conclude that that particular element is absorbing the energy. At the same time, when the power is negative, that is when the calculated power is negative in a particular element, we can say that the particular element is supplying the energy. Now the example of power. So here if you observe, here we have a total 3 diagrams, A, B and C. So here how much power is absorbed by the 3 elements above. Okay, just by utilizing the 3 diagrams, just simply calculate the power in each diagram. Just try yourself. If not, I'll explain it again to you. Okay. Okay. Now if we see in a diagram A, here we have a 2 volts of voltage in between 2 points. There entering a current of 3 amperes. So by the definition of power P equal to V into I, 2 into 3 we got 6 watts. Okay. Now if you observe the circuit diagram the diagram B, here we have a current is entering into the negative and positive. Here we have assumed minus 2 volts of voltage exists between two terminals and minus 3 amperes of current. By the definition of power, that is called P is equals to V into I. 2 into 3, we got 6 watts. While coming to the power diagram C, here 4 volts of voltage exists between two terminals and minus 5 amperes current is flowing in the diagram. So that is nothing but if we calculate the power, we got minus 20 watts. So here what is the note we need to make? C is actually supplying power. So just now we have discussed that whenever we get the calculated power in positive, we conclude that those are absorbing the energy. The power, if we calculate it, is negative, then we can conclude that it is supplying the energy. So depending upon that conclusion, here in a diagram C, we got minus 20 watts. So the diagram C actually supplying the power. Now circuit elements. So a circuit element is usually has two terminals, sometimes 3 or more. So the relationship between the voltage V across the terminals and the current I through the device define the circuit element model. That is nothing but if you take here, if you observe this diagram, so in this diagram here we are applying the voltage and we are applying the current. So depending upon the relationship between this voltage and this current, that relation will decide the nature of this circuit element. Now we will discuss about Ohm's law. So in that the basic circuit element is resistance depend upon your Ohm's law. So Ohm's law is nothing but a resistor is an element for which V is equals to I into R, where the constant R is a resistance. The equation is known as Ohm's law. So V is equals to I into R. So the unit of resistance is ohms. If you observe, this is the one diagram. So this is the symbol of resistor R. So if voltage across that resistor is V and I is the current flowing through that resistor. So if you observe the Ohm's law, V is equals to I into R. From there, R is equals to V by I. So this is how we can able to calculate the resistance. Now if you observe here, there are 4 diagrams. These are the different types of resistor diagrams. Here the first diagram will represent the typical resistors, and diagram B will represent the power resistors, and diagram C will represent a 10 tera ohm resistor, and diagram D represent the basic circuit symbol of your resistor. So if you observe the current and voltage graph for a resistor, so for a resistor the plot of curve versus voltage and is a straight line. So that is nothing but by the definition V is equals to I into R. If you plot the graph between voltage and current, that has to be linear. So in this example, the slope is 4 amperes by 8 volts, that is 0.5 inverse ohms. This is the graph for a 2 ohms resistor. That is nothing but here if you observe at this particular point 8 volts, the current is 4 amperes. So if you divide it, that is resistance equal to V by I, that is nothing but 8 volts by 4 amperes, we will get the 2 ohms of resistors. Okay. Now the power absorption in a resistor. Resistors are absorbed power since V is equals to I into R. So P is equals to V into I. From this equation we can say that V square by R, that is also equal to I square into R. So positive power means the device absorb the energy. Power is always positive for a resistor. So now here if you see the example in a resistive power. So the example is a 560 ohm resistor is connected to a circuit which causes a current of 42.4 milliamperes to flow through it. Calculate the voltage across the resistor and as well as the power it is dissipating. So we need to calculate the voltage across that particular resistor as well as we need to calculate the power. So by utilizing the data, just try to calculate the power as well as a voltage in this particular example. Just try yourself. If not, I'll explain it again. Okay. Okay, now, so for the first thing we need to calculate voltage. So by the definition of Ohm's law, we have a formula that V is equals to I into R. So here the current is 42.4 milliamperes. So if it is converted into the amperes, it is 0.0424 into the resistance is 560 ohms. If you multiply these two together, we'll get the voltage as 23.7 volts. Now the next thing is we need to calculate the power P equal to I square R. So the current is 0.0424 whole square into the resistance is 560 ohms. If you multiply these two together, we'll get the power as 1.007 watts. So this is how we can able to calculate the voltage as well as power in this particular resistor. Okay. So in our today's lecture, we have gone through the basic elements like what is a charge and what is a current and what is the voltage and what is the power. So later on, what is the resistor. So what is the resistor? After that, how to calculate the power in a resistor. Okay, right? Thank you.